Well, is there something in your life that tells you that, like that got you in that direction? Like, is there a machine that attacked you?
No, not really. It is
So
just like,
when you watch the news about new technology blossoming, you oh no, I'm gonna die.
yeah,
Well,
I
is
got
there something in your
impressed.
life that tells you that?
All
Like,
the
sorry?
sorry,
Yeah, I just answer the
someone
question.
said something. Yeah, but like, do you know the TV series Black Mirror?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I watch it, I got so impressed. Maybe I got some nightmares about it. And it
Oh, the one
was
about the dogs. Have you seen that one?
no, what is it?
The dogs. Have you seen this, guys?
Ah, the
About
dogs, yeah.
robotic dogs. Yeah,
When you
they.
see
Mm-hmm.
the robots of the Boston Dynamics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boston Dynamics robots.
A little
Really scary,
weird.
right, Diego? Because they are like a prototypical watchdog of that kind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those
I have nightmare with this dog.
you that like
Yeah.
it is a nightmare fuel because you there's almost no escape from them. You know, they are indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
They can adapt. If even if they lose a leg, they can still walk. They're bulletproof. They have lots of tools. They have a gun. They have a computer.
What is it?
Yeah,
The dog.
I watched a video with this dog open a door with
Yeah,
Oh,
the strength of the dog, it's incredible.
you're talking
Yeah.
about
Imagine,
this
so weird.
MIT robots?
Sorry.
You're talking about
Yeah,
this
I think so.
MIT robots that MIT made some robots that you put them like a dog and you can
Yeah, I think so.
No,
like
no, actually, like, we're talking about. Okay, first we're referring to this Boston Dynamics robot because it reminds us of this robot that was depicted in Black Mirror.
oh, I didn't watch Black Mirror. I don't know.
You should. I think you'd like it, and it's very, very dangerous. Like because there's a person. I believe the goal of this robot is kill all humans. It seems like because it chases the humans until they die. You know, and
Oh,
nothing stops it.
fine.
So having a robot going after you and nothing can stop it, it's really, really scary. Yeah.
Yeah, really. It's like the in the US they use some drones, to make some attacks in the war, you know, like they use the GPS, clicking a button and
Yes.
go
Yeah. This
to.
actually this week, guys, for the people who do mentoring, we will talk. We will watch a video actually for everyone, but yeah, uh, about the GPS and how the GPS works. And the GPS is controlled by the US, right?
all
Today,
of them.
sorry,
No
All of
often.
them.
No often.
no, what do you mean? Yeah, other countries have their own satellite systems, satellite constellations, as they call, like Russia, India, Japan. Japan has only 2 satellites. Uh, Germany, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe one other.
In Brazil, the most that you use it's from the US. I
Yes, but the
think
ones that
this is
most people
what.
use is the American one, and it's free. You know, like they gave the world this, um, and it's good that we have.
Why?
And like, if there is a world war and Brazil doesn't have GPS of their own, like it doesn't have their own satellite constellation, they will shut it off for every other country and keep only for them with high precision. So they will have warfare advantage over us. That's one thing to be afraid of. Like Brazil
Yes.
has one of Brazil has one of the biggest reserves of water, of underground water in the world, and at some point, a war might break out because of that. You know, it might invade Brazil to steal that water. You know?
Yeah.
There's enough water in the ground, Brazil, to feed it, like to feed the country for 200 years, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot. Yeah. So this is one to be afraid of.
And one interesting thing is that the precision of the GPS, we use GPS, I think some precision, the Google, it's not so great, you know. Like the military, they really have a great precision.
Yeah.
The Google tried to do it, but the US don't let them do it, you know. Google try to use a precision from meters, you know, just some meters, but the US don't let the military, don't let them do it, because you can program something to do everything. If you have this precision, you know, you can make an attack from your house.
Guys,
Yeah, but what's like it's precise enough to attack with a bomb?
No,
like,
it's not so. You can't. It's the precision of the military US. It's basically you can kill one person, you know.
wow.
Like you can say basically this part of the thing, and the Google can do it, but they don't do it because of the US, because they don't let they do it, you know. So say I'm gonna kill the president, and you. It's
I was
impossible.
trying out some things yesterday with Google Assistant, like, hey Google, where am I? And it shows me
State of paranoia.
exactly where I am, so it knows where I am. Hey Google, what's my name?
Your name is Gus.
Yes.
He's wrong. Your name's not good.
Hey Google, show me a picture of me.
Ask for your CPF.
Showing photos of you.
I'm gonna show photos of me. Yeah, of course I allow it to know these things, but it's I'm not actually scared. But it is something that maybe is the beginning of something that may be scary, you know, technology knowing everything about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And it's
there is a phrase, for example, when the Google respond when you ask, means that the Google is always hearing you.
yes,
You know?
so listen,
It's a little weird
yeah.
to imagine it.
Diego will think. Não faz algo, Diego.
Stop this, stop me.
Poetry. Yeah, and it's
Guys, have you ever seen that car of the Google mapping the city?
Yes.
I never
Yeah?
thought.
In São Luís, I saw in the street one time. They are
Yeah.
passing.
In Renaissance, I've seen that.
I only saw it on Google Maps, like with a reflection or something.
I saw it in Coab one time, but I think they are not scoring the time, you know, because I search and I'm not in the screen. Then I say no, they are not doing. They're just passing.
I see. Yeah, it's crazy, like to find your street and to understand that the car has been there at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like it passed right in front of my street, and if there's and what a task! They're scanning the whole world, the whole livable world, right? To scan the world, to send cars to scan the whole world. This is just magnificent. And I actually like this a lot. You know, we tend to be scared of giving our data away. But even though evil people might use it for evil things, I like the benefits that we get from it. You know, like the fact that we can, like the GPS is free, and even without internet connection, you can find my way back home.
Yes.
And what else?
And if the machines, when you have a artificial intelligence, they really think, oh, gonna solve all the problems, you know? Because people, in the most of the time, people think they gonna kill all of us and say that we are the problem.
Yes, it makes sense because there have been some machines already, right? That like
Yes.
if you do calculations, and if the machine's goal is to save the world, deleting humanity from existence makes total sense. Yeah, this is why I think that Thanos is the hero of the Avengers. You know, he is doing the right thing. You know, like he
Oh,
wants to save the planet.
but Gus, we have a theory that proves, I don't know that, I don't remember the theory that proves that Thanos is completely wrong, you know? You don't change
Right.
almost nothing if you do what Thanos did. It's,
Mm.
you're just saying, I'm gonna make the problem be back in the future, you know?
I see.
If you,
Yeah, but like doing that will at least prolong the life of the planet, won't it?
yes, but they're not solving any problem, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, in the long run, it's gonna happen
Anyway.
either way, and then he can just come back and do it again. You know, like he's just
But he's give up, you remember? He destroy all the
he destroys the stones.
yes,
Mm,
you remember? Then he give up. He say, "Okay, I make my part." And
yeah, yeah, but it's very dicky of him to just come and forcibly try to delete to obliterate half of the population, and not only human population, right? All the population.
yes,
Is it only human? Not
no,
sure.
it's all the world, all
Even
the
planet?
space, you know, all the planets, everything.
No, I mean like on Earth, he only obliterates half of humans or half of every living being.
Half of every life being,
Living
you
being,
know.
for sure. Yeah, I started watching the Avengers, like the Marvel films in sequence now. It's fun. Paulo, what about you? What are you scared of the most?
I agree a little bit with the future, yeah, because we have this problem with data, and we don't know exactly where is it going, and but we have the benefits. I think we have the benefit, but it's not the most. Mm, I think it's not so important as for the other people that have all the data, and they can maybe do a lot of things. And actually we have, for example, a data market, and uh, some people just sell data when, for example, they hack it, a website, for example, and a database, they sell it and it costs a lot. I don't know the cost, but I can search for it, and I give you the cost after. But another thing I think is just, I think it's normal, but maybe lose people that I love, for example. I think I'm afraid of it, but considering you are trying, no, you're trying always to adapt yourself of some situations, I think you can deal with it someday.
What do you mean?
Sorry?
What do you mean?
I think a person, for example, that suffered a lot with a lot of things, and maybe if he lose someone that he loves, for example, I think it would not be a consequence that the first time, for example. I think you can deal with it.
It won't affect it. It won't affect them as much
Yeah,
because they are used to suffering.
yeah,
It's very common in films, right? Like those
Yeah,
guys are
exactly.
very tough, for suffering a lot, and then something bad happens, they don't even shed a tear.
yeah.
Okay.
A cold person.
Yeah. Danilo, did you say what you were afraid of the most?
No, I didn't say.
What
This
is
is the
it?
question. What a complicated question, man. What I'm afraid the most. I think sometimes what I think I is the future, not because of the machines or something like that.
Machines.
Sometimes it's because the environment, you know, we are, I think the real problem is not the machines, but the environment. That when you talk with someone that really understands about it, he say, oh, we have just some years in front, you don't have so much years, you know.
Wow. Only some
Then
years left.
it's a problem, a bigger problem, you know.
I see.
And
It's a more immediate problem too, right?
yes, it's a more immediate problem than machines, because
Machines.
when you machines, because when you, like I think I already say it to you that we are not near of an artificial intelligence that really functional, you know, that really can scare us and do something that think by itself, you know.
I see.
It's not near yet. And I have another fear that it's the future too. It's about not be able to help people that I like, you know, in moments they need. Like,
Wow.
and don't be in the side when they need, you know, like don't be able to help. I think this is one of the most dangerous things. Like a couple think, oh, if my mother needed that and I can't help her, you know, this is scary.
Yeah. It's one of my fears too, but like, yeah, a fear of being helpless is quite present, you know, like when someone in my family maybe gets attacked by a gang, by a group of people, they can't do anything, even if I'm there. You know,
Yes.
it's scary for me.
In that case, I'm not so afraid of things like that. And tipo, helpless is basically when my mother gets injured or my mother is sick, you know, and I can't help her, something like that. I can't pay for a hospital or something like that, you know. That I think about things like that, things that maybe I can't do something, you know.
You see, it's a fear of powerlessness.
Yes, in moments that I can't do something, not in moments that I can't. Like if someone kill you, you can't do nothing, you know.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You can't do nothing. If another person gets and kill you, a parent of your parent, you can't do nothing. You just say, okay, I have to.
Yeah. Maybe I want to try something with you, which is writing a story together. It can be fun.
Can't.
Sorry?
You say can't be fun.
Yeah, this. I don't know, but I made me question myself. This could be fun. I think I said that. Not necessarily writing, but you can just speak it. So I brought like 101 terrifying horror story prompts. So a prompt is like the beginning or the theme of a story. And we'll pick one of them and begin it. So let's see these one here. Look at that. Winged creatures can be seen within the storm clouds above. A man wakes up to find a hobo clown staring down at him. Do you know what's a hobo?
Hobo.
Yes. A hobo is a person who lives in the street. Homeless person.
Okay.
Residents of a town suddenly fall dead while the dead from cemeteries around them rise. So everyone who was alive dies and everyone who was dead lives. A doctor performs the first head transplant. Things go wrong. I like it. A man is texted pictures of himself in various stages of torture that he has no memory of. Wow, I like it. Did you get it? Imagine getting pictures of yourself being tortured, but you don't remember them. No. A girl wakes up to find a little boy sitting on his bed, claiming to be her younger brother, but she never had one. A scare walk in the woods during Halloween is actually real. So which of these is your favorite?
For me, it's the 22.
2.
The girl wakes up.
Me too. I think it's the best.
2 as well. Danilo.
What's the best?
Yes.
I think the can be the 22.
Okay. Right. What's that noise coming from?
I'm not so, I'd say it's so, I don't like so much about oral histories, you know, like
I see.
I didn't watch oral films and things like that.
Horror. Repeat horror.
Horror.
Yes.
I don't like, I think it's boring, you know.
So it's not horror for you.
Yes, it's boring.
Horror.
Someone called me to watch some people killing others. I say, why you doing it? I need this history, something like that. To maybe here, I started to bored about it.
Horror is like comedy, I believe. Everyone likes comedy, but not everyone laughs at the same thing. We all laugh at something. So comedy is always real for everyone. And horror is too. Maybe you're not afraid of the things that most people are afraid of, but you're afraid of something. And there must be a film out there that really triggers you and makes you feel afraid.
Yes.
So a girl wakes up to, Probably, yeah. A girl wakes up to find a little boy sitting on his bed. On his bed. On his bed? But how does he have a bed?
Oh.
There are 2 beds in his room.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay. So the mysteries have already begun. A girl wakes up to find a little boy sitting on his bed, claiming to be her younger brother, but she never had one. So we will just speak and take turns in adding to the story, okay? And the sequence will be Gustavo, Mago, Diego. Your house is noisy. Let me wait. Okay. So this is the sequence.
Okay.
So Rebecca, right? Rebecca suddenly starts screaming, and she trips over something, falls on her bedroom floor, and looks back, and the kid is no longer there.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Can you repeat your part, please?
Rebecca, when
Okay.
she wakes up and see the young boy on his bed, claiming to be her brother, she just runs away, and in doing so, she trips and she falls on the floor, and then she looks back to see if the ghost is still there, but he's no longer there. He's not there anymore.
Okay. Rebecca started to pray, and she remembered that her mother was pregnant in some point of her life.
Wow, nice. Diego, you.
But she was so afraid that she decided to cover up with a blanket, and when she took off the blanket again, the boy was staring at her, just the like one, like so close.
Like one palm from her head.
One palm from the head, yes.
Okay. Paulo, you go.
So she ran again, trying to reach her mother, but her mother wasn't answering her, and started raining.
Wow, setting the mood. Nice. Danilo.
She started to run to the what's it, to the phone, and to call her father. And when she gets the phone, he is in the screen, you know.
Wait, the ghost?
Yes.
The little boy?
And he's screaming.
Wow.
She scream a lot. And
Wow.
the father of the store. I
No,
don't know.
it's not over yet. It's
Okay.
She blinks, like she gets startled, and she blinks, and when she looks back, it was just her imagination, and at least that's what she thought. And then she realizes, she looks at the contact numbers, and she doesn't find the father that she would have sworn that she had. No? she thought she was sure she had a father, but then she couldn't find a contact to call him.
Oh, okay. She realizes that she hadn't a father and a mother to either a brother.
Okay, that's it. Okay,
That's
Diego.
it.
She had nobody.
I would say that she wakes up again.
Oh, and this ends the story almost. And then she wakes up because it was all a dream. Like it's the
Mhm.
easiest way to save like a crazy story.
But the boy was there.
Okay, she woke up again, and the boy was there. Okay, how will you go?
So the same story happened, and final, she woke up again, and the boy there.
Come on, Diego said that. Okay, is repeating one more time.
Yeah, she
Yeah, it's a
realized
loop.
that
Okay, she's on a
She-
loop, right? She's on a loop.
Yeah.
In the loop.
Then it's 7 in the morning, and after a lot of loops, she really awake. He is not in that place. It's another boy in the other bed, and he discover that she is in an orphanage.
Okay, she's in a board school for orphans. Okay. Wait, I need to pee. Be right back.
This is the end of the history.
The end of the history when the ghost needs to pee.
I have a good finish, a good end to the story. She realizes that she was in the hell, and this loop is her.
Yeah. I think I watched some movie about that. There's a woman, and after I think every day she dies, and the other day is the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't remember actually the name of the movie, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there is a film that actually introduced this style called The Groundhog Day. The guy repeats the same day every day until something happens and he can actually live the following day.
There is an episode 2 of Black Mirror. It's White Bear. Like they do it on purpose. She was judged.
Yeah, it was a torture, right? It was like
A torture.
it's an episode of Lucifer too.
and Lucifer is hell, right? It's how they live.
Yeah,
Hell. Like
yeah,
we live the worst nightmare.
yeah.
Talking about hell, have you guys seen Sabrina? Do you like Sabrina?
Just the first season.
Hey guys, but let's
Sure.
finish the story real quick.
Sure.
It was my turn, right?
Yeah.
Danilo said that
Danilo
she was
said.
in a boat full of orphans, and there was another boy. And this time, she decided to talk to the boy because she figured, okay, I'm used to this reality already. It's happening every day, so something has to be different, so I can maybe escape this reality. And then she talked to the boy. Hey, boy, the fuck.
This is a good line.
What the fuck is going on?
That's it.
And the boy And the boy says,
and the voice says, I'm Lucifer, and you are in the hell, and this is your punishment for all the eternity.
oh,
And ta-da!
the end, you
Good
finished the
story.
story. Oh. And then she wakes up, and there's a and then you go on forever. What a combination. Chocolate and beer. It's quite nice.
Oh,
Oh, quite nice, man. It's good. Beer is good with everything.
Okay, nice note first. For some reason, I decided to draw a fat pen. Seen a fat pen? Imagine if pens were round.
Oh,
I thought that it's a peão. How can I say peão? In
you know.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
so
I play chess and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danilo, there's nothing you're afraid of, like regarding audiovisual multimedia, like no song or sound or film or book that really makes you afraid?
bro, I don't have none of them that really makes me afraid.
Imagine you're reading a book. It's a very hard, boring book, novel, horror novel, and then you realize it's about you. And and that in the book you die the following day. That would be horrifying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You read in the book, wow, this guy really looks like me, and then you realize it's about you, and now
You read all your days in your life, all your history.
What if you could do that? It's a nice question. If you found a book with all of your history, past, present, and future, would you read it?
No way.
Yeah.
No? Why not?
I don't think so.
No.
If I have a question, if you know the future, you controlling yourself to live the same thing again,
Yeah, it
or
depends on
you're
what
just
kind of-
living your life, because if you know the future, you're doing the same things, you're repeating what you saw, or you're living the life.
Yeah, like it depends, because maybe the book changes as you change, or you there's no way you can do something else. You know, one of those two things has to be true.
But
Either the book changes or you don't change.
but if no way you change it, like you're gonna do the same thing, you can't change it. The question is, you repeating what you saw in the book, or you're just living the life?
It means you don't have any control. Right? It's an illusion.
Yeah, we don't have control of our lives.
It's like I'm watching an anime that it's Attack on Titans. Oh, and have something like that, in the history, and I was intrigued by it. And what?
Yeah.
Why someone knows the future?
I always think like this: if there is one creature in the world that knows everything that's going to happen, nobody has any control over anything. It's just an illusion.
This is the Matrix plot, yeah?
Is it?
Yeah. The Oracle, they know everything in the world, yeah?
Wow.
Oracles, yeah. And it is also the deja vu plot. Have you seen? It's like they say that
Denzel, Denzel Washington.
yeah, like they say that the time it is a line, and it will always be a line. If you try to change it like with something like a minor event, like it will be recognize it, and they will like try to make it like just a curve and continue the line.
Mm.
And but if you have a big event like a major event, you are going to make a new future, but it will continue a line.
But
And
no parallel lines, just one line.
just one line.
Yeah. There's a course that I took that you might want to take about the philosophy of time travel. And in there they discuss all of these different theories, you know. For example, in Back to the Future, you like Marty, right? He actually abandoned his old family and he finds this new one in a parallel universe, you know. He didn't change the future, he just abandoned the old family and joined a new one from a parallel universe. At least according to the theory of the film.
And what I think about the past, I have an interesting theory that I think all the time. You have gonna say you in the future you know how to do the time machine, you know, and you decided to make a book about it and back in the past and give it to you when you're young. And the question is, what happens first? You give your book to yourself, or you learn your entire life to make the machine?
This is dark, yeah, dark. What is the name of these
It's a paradox.
paradox? Yeah, like what is the name? Uh, it is a.
Remember.
I don't remember to either. Sorry.
But have a
Like-
name. I don't know.
I'm looking for the name of this paradox to build a time machine.
But this is interesting, yeah. When the book becomes one thing that it is. Oh my.
What paradox is it called when you go back in time and tell your past self how to build a time machine? There's no name. Or contradiction. Okay, let's read this. This is weird. So a guy asked here in Quora, what paradox is it called when you go back in time and tell your past self how to build a time machine? And this guy said, contradiction in terms. If you really did something new to your prior self, you would prove it wasn't new. See what I mean? It's not really a contradiction the way it would really happen, because either one, your future you would already know about the time machine, which is not a contradiction in 3.5. What? What is 3.5D? What is this? Okay, in 3.5D and higher, I don't know about it. Or two,
The dimensions, like 3.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't you, because if it was you, you would have known about the time machine. Likewise, an endless loop is not a contradiction because it still requires a certain number of trips which occur in their own time travel timeline, which may be composed of regular timeline segment plus travel time times. Okay, yeah, I like the way because, for example, the grandfather paradox, you know, that you go back in the past and you kill a grandfather. Have you heard of that one?
Yes.
And then, can you actually kill a grandfather? Like, you're probably gonna miss, but you have trained for years and you never miss any target. You're not gonna miss. So will you be able to kill a grandfather? And if you do, will you be born to go back in the past, to the past in the first place? And I like the way that some people analyze these. There are different kinds of analysis. And my favorite is you only think this is a contradiction because you are considering all of the facts. In the sense that if you don't remember, if you forget, if you don't consider that the younger person traveled in time to kill the grandfather, it's completely possible. It's a person with a gun.
Não quero mais, não.
No. So there's no contradiction in there. You know, we only add contradiction as we add layers of interpretation and information. So this is one way to see it, but there are at least 3 ways which are not correct. Like none of them are correct.
And there is the parallel universe you mentioned, yeah?
Yes.
Imagine if there is a Gus in that, there is a Gus in another universe.
It doesn't speak English. There's no. Doesn't. Still in São Luís. Do you believe, guys, in parallel universes?
Yeah, I believe.
I believe that we are in a huge simulation in a quantum computer, and we don't have livre-arbítrio, free will. I don't know.
Yes.
Sure will.
We don't have free will, and that's it. It's all an illusion.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I read an article, a paper,
Yes.
that says that when we decide something, our brain already decided minutes before or seconds before, but we don't have conscience
Consciousness. Yes.
about it. So we don't have. This is interesting because if we are in a big simulation like The Sims, like a game, maybe we think that we have decisions, but we don't have one. You know?
Yeah. We make like in the science of decision making, it has been proven that we make decisions emotionally first, and then we just justify them with reason. You know, there are different layers to your brain. There's the limbic system, and there's the cortex and neocortex, basically. And the limbic system is responsible for your survival instincts and emotions. And then the cortex is for reason, and the neocortex is what we have different from other animals. They allows us to have language and reasoning and conscience, and know that we exist and know that we can end our lives. And then we make decisions emotionally first, and then we just justify them with reason. Like, for example, when you buy a new phone, you buy a new phone because you want to buy it, because it's fun to have new things. But then you justify them, because it has a better camera, and I always it to work, and I'll do this and that and this and that. But it's solely and primarily because of an emotional reason. Nice. So we are trying to scare Diego, right? He's afraid of the future. We're talking about the future. Diego is trying to scare you off. And
I'm here just like, come on, you are doing this.
Yeah, you're on the edge of your seat. I like these theories that we cannot unprove them. Like, Danilo, can you unprove that we live in a simulation? Can we prove that we are not?
No, it's impossible. It's like God, it's impossible to say that God not exists and to say that God exists, because it's something that you believe in. It's not something that you can possibly prove,
Yes.
Yeah, there are some things that happen in our reality that's very similar to computer science techniques. For example, when you are playing a game, actually the universe of the game is not being created all in the same time, entirely in the same time. For example, when you see a tree, the tree is created just when you see to him, you know,
Yeah, like
and
hmm,
because it's a huge computational cost to create the universe all at the same time. And when you see the quantum mechanic, something happened in the world of the micro particles. And when you see a particle, uh, the fact of the you are seeing this thing change the status of the particle. It's very similar with computer science techniques. I think my point of the view, but I'm how can I say Lego in
I'm a
in
late.
mechanical quantic. So I don't know. It's very similar for me.
Wait, I'm gonna show you these two words. Layman.
Layman.
You're a layman who
Lay,
have much study on this topic.
yeah, my
And you
layman
mean,
in physics.
yes, you mean quantum
Quantum
mechanics.
mechanics.
Mechanics, quantum mechanics.
Okay, quantum. Yeah, but in quantum mechanics, you have these particles that only manifest one way or the other when you actually observe them. Just
Yeah.
like the Schrödinger's cat, right? Which really increases the processing power of a computer.
Yeah.
Because it can
You
be
don't.
it can be zero, it can be one, it can be both
Yeah.
at the
You
same
you
time.
don't you don't see the tree in high definition if you are very.
Right, it does make sense, right? Like if you look at a tree from afar, it's in low
Yeah.
definition.
But
And
Yes,
when you are very close, seems that the high definition appear.
it's a very
It's
interesting way of thinking that. Yeah.
it's
happen.
more near you are, they are getting better, they put more details, and they do it a lot in games. In a lot of games they do it. And
So you
one of this, I think it's the Cyberpunk, they put in a so high definition when it's far, it's possible to see that it's not that's so
That
insane.
was one of the problems, one of the bugs.
No, this is one of technical decisions, they say,
Oh.
the game is so complicated to run in a computer, then we're gonna make the poor definition in some
Wait,
place.
you
Come
said
again? What is the name of the game?
high definition?
Cyberpunk, it's
Cyberpunk. Huh?
Yeah, Cyberpunk is a
27.
game that everyone was expecting for a long time, and then when it was released, it was full of bugs. Right?
Yes, a lot of bugs. It's called a bug game, like
Yeah. This is
and
awful.
it's a game because it's great because watching some in the Twitch, people playing the game, and I'm watching the Twitch some them playing, and it's so great. Like I watch 20 minutes. Sometimes I'm doing nothing. Sometimes, and I watch something played for like 20 minutes.
Mm.
In that time, all the time I watch it for this 20 minutes, I get the people getting 20, 30 bugs, all the
Wow.
time. Like the cars are doing something that is not possible. Everything happens wrong in the game.
But
So a bizarre bug in internet. The
what
I
about
think how can I say personage?
character?
Okay, the character hit a wheelchair, and the wheelchair just ran.
Just what?
The character hit a wheelchair, and the wheelchair just ran.
Run. Oh, the guy in the
Yeah.
wheelchair runs away?
Yeah.
What? Seriously? Crazy. But I heard that the bugs were only on the consoles, not on PC, right?
No, it's in all the devices,
On the platforms.
everything.
Mm,
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
all the platforms. Problem in the console, it's worse because they think that the console have the power. For example, the PS4, PS4, the Xbox One, the previous version, they think have the necessary power to play the game, but they didn't have. And it's like you're playing a game from the PS1, in a
Wow.
of level of details. Like was that games without to end the tail. You're playing a PS4 and they say, no, it's gonna work. No.
When I would talked about things being built as we see them, I remembered playing racing games on PS1. There was a specific one called Drive, which was similar to GTA in a way. Ever played this one, Drive? It was similar to GTA because you could leave the car and do some things, but you couldn't actually bear a gun or do anything complicated outside the car. You would mostly drive. But as we drove through the streets, the things would start to show up and build up,
Yeah.
like build more streets, like, and yeah. And what I find amazing is our ability, I don't know if that's going to stop one day. It probably will. Because like we always, when we played the PS1, for example, back in the day, probably people thought, wow, what a high definition game. Like, right? So realistic. Look at the street, look at the car. And then there came PS2 and PS3, PS4, and these layers of realisticness, realism, keep on being built upon the previous ones. And I always,
But there is a limit. I
yes, there is.
think the next video games and the difference will be very small,
In
But
reality, yes.
why?
the definition, um, it will be more the console will be more expensive, but the quality of the definition is not be so higher.
I see.
Compared with the previous video game.
What do you mean why, Diego? What's the question?
Yeah, I don't understand why there is a limit. For example, we have seen that it has changed a lot.
And because it's more related with our capacity, ability
Mm-hmm.
to understand this difference. For our eyes, we can see the difference, the real difference between two video games with high definitions. So uh, um, in the future, I think the PS6 or 7, we will not be able to see this slightly difference between these two consoles video games.
Mm-hmm. So they will bring the new differences, but that we are not going to see it like because we are used to see.
Yeah,
It's
and
mm-hmm.
and there is a computational problem too because the other video games to achieve this level of definition, the computational cost will be higher too. So it's not a good option because we have to build video games more expensive, but the increase in terms of quality is not so higher, you know. That's it.
Kind of if we create a game like a video game that it is the point, it is a VR game, like we are, so it is so expensive that we are not going to be able to afford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I don't think it is.
But VR, I think it's possible
VR.
in the future because
Yeah, it's not only possible but true already.
no,
Like, it just
Yeah,
has to.
there is.
but not in the level of you say I'm in a real world. You know, you can't say it. You're gonna see the difference from the VR to reality. You know, it's not possible.
Yeah, but
to
where
say.
where is the limit? And this is what makes me think that we may as well be living in a simulation, because okay, VR starts at one level of sharpness and closeness to reality, but then it evolves and evolves and evolves and evolves to one point that we don't have even to wear a glass anymore, that we can install a chip, or we can, that simulates all of our senses. So we may be lying down on a bed right now and just living this simulation. So like nothing can improve that. So like
And what's the purpose of it?
I don't know. Like it's just a better game. It's just an awesome game. There is a
Awesome game that you die and you're
Yeah.
dead.
yeah, we play games that we die all the time, right?
But you revive me.
Yeah. So maybe like we had games that we didn't revive, and we live the simulation to play games that we do, maybe. But what I mean is like there is a TV show called Electric Dreams on Prime. Have you heard of it?
Oh.
The first episode is about a woman who puts on a chip because she's too stressed out, and she then goes into an alternate reality, and she lives the life of a man. And this man is a very successful man. He's tired of his life of being a successful man. He wants to live a normal life, and he puts VR glasses and he lives the life of the woman. You know, so like there's no real. And at one point in the simulation, he breaks the glasses and he decides not to come back. However, the real reality was the woman's. So she will be in uncommon forever now, living this alternate reality. So like which is which, you know? It's interesting the way they showcase that. Which is the real one? Which one, like both characters in both realities were trying to escape to the other world, because both of them were entirely real. And think of your dreams. Like dreams are entirely real until you wake up, you know? Like we feel as if they were real. Remember that? Like remember your last dream. While you're dreaming, nothing tells your brain that's a dream, you know, not for most people. And then you wake up, okay, that was a simulation. It wasn't reality. This is reality now. What if the other way around? What if this is a dream and that's a reality?
Yeah, there is a theory. I don't know how can I explain that in English. I never tried to do it.
Okay, let's do it.
For example, imagine a universe bidimensional, right?
Bidimensional universe. Okay.
Bidimensional, and you have two quadrados, squared.
Two squares.
We have two squares talking each other.
Talking to each other. Okay.
Yeah, two squared, right? And it's at some point one of them achieved the third dimensional universe, and he become a cube, right?
Okay, he becomes a cube.
A cube, and after that, he returned to bidimensional universe, and he says to other square, "I saw the above, the up."
Beyond.
Yeah, and the other says, "So show me." But they are in the bidimensional universe. So it's impossible to show the the above because they are inside the universe. So this is the idea. We are in the universe, so it's impossible to understand and completely the universe because we are inside the universe. It's necessary to be out of the universe to understand completely all the laws. We are a fish in a aquarium. How can I say aquarium?
Aquarium.
We are a fish in aquarium, and we create laws to the aquarium to the movement of uh, the ondas,
Waves.
the
Waves.
waves. We create laws to the movement of the waves in the aquarium, but we don't know the, all the universe. We just know the aquarium, you know. So it's
Oh,
impossible to understand the universe completely because
this is
that.
the Plato's cave, you know? You already read it? The Plato's cave? This came from it.
Oh, yeah,
This the allegory of the Plato's cave. This came from it.
yeah,
And it's the same that used in Interstellar. You watch it? Interstellar? Use the
yes.
Yeah.
use the
I
same
watched.
theory in Interstellar.
It's Electric Dreams, Diego. The name of the series. Electric Dreams.
Okay.
There is a quote on the Soul, on the film The Soul. Have you seen it? Soul.
No.
That Dorothy Williams says to the guy. She says, "I heard this story about a fish. He swims up to another fish and says, 'I'm trying to find this thing they call the ocean.' 'The ocean,' the other fish says. 'That's what you're in right now.'" Like we're right. It's not the same message, but it reminds me of what you just said. Like that we try to look for things that we are already in. You know, just
And I
realize
think
of it on my keyboard.
and I think it's interesting because this theory, this thing so antiquated, you know, so older, and because
Yeah.
Plato's made it in so a lot of time ago. He
What theory?
had this idea of the
Which
same
theory?
thing. What he explained was called the Plato's cave, the allegory. If you read it,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an allegory of Plato's, you know. He writes it a lot of time ago about it, about
Yeah.
this
The
theory.
allegory of the cave. That we are in a reality, like in a limited reality, but we think it's all there is.
Yes.
And this makes me think of adulthood. And like we think, oh, a child doesn't know anything. A child sees, like, remember when we were a child, oh, as a child I thought that this was this when actually was that, or I thought that this was bigger than it actually is, and I realize now it's smaller. But then we are just children that stopped growing once we are adults, because there are so many more things that we don't understand, but we won't ever develop the intellectual capacity to understand. You know, there might be things right in front of you. Remember when you were a child and there were situations and objects and scenarios that were right in front of you, but you didn't have the intellectual capacity to understand it, to interpret it. And right now, there are things happening right in front of our faces, and we have no clue what they are, just because we're not intelligent enough to do so. It's crazy.
This
Okay.
thing remembers my in this Christmas I go to my grandmother house, and one of my cousin didn't see my sister for a lot of time, you know.
Mhm.
And he said, "You're so small," to my sister, you know. Because in the past she was so
It was way
higher
tall.
than he. Didn't say, "You're so small. You're tall in the past."
Yeah.
Like change the perspective, you know. Like now you
Indeed.
sing something that you didn't saw.
Didn't see before. Guys, the 6 p.m. group is always the best. I love being with you. Welcome every time.
You say that to all the groups, please. Don't do it.
I don't. Yeah, I'm being truthful to you guys. I have another meeting now at 8, so I want to take a picture with you guys and finish for today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So, smile. 1, 2, 3. I was so excited about this picture. Okay, guys. Great being with you. I love having these kind of conversations. I don't know if you noticed, but this conversation is on YouTube now. So if you want to share it with someone, you can. I will be sending the link on the group.
Okay.
And thanks a lot for being here. Okay. You guys are great and amazing, and I love having you over. Always. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.